During the late 20th century, international law enforcement began confronting a new wave of transnational drug trafficking operations emerging from Southeast Asia. One of the figures who drew attention during this era was Su, a young man who became involved in illicit networks at a time when he had little experience but significant ambition. Southeast Asia was then one of the world's major sources of high-purity heroin, which made the region a central focus for authorities monitoring global narcotics movements. Su understood the demand in North America and attempted to insert himself into the existing criminal landscape. His involvement relied on long-established smuggling contacts that had existed for decades, taking advantage of global trade routes and gaps in international oversight. As drug-related activity in North America increased, agencies across several countries began noticing patterns pointing back toward parts of Asia. By the mid-1990s, the FBI, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, and local Canadian police forces launched a large multinational investigation. Their goal was not only to identify trafficking groups, but also to understand the evolving structure of these networks. Undercover officers and informants were deployed to gather intelligence, a process that took months of careful planning. Over time, investigators identified links between operations in Canada and certain actors moving throughout Asia. Su became a person of interest because of his frequent international travel and suspected associations with known cross-border groups. In 1998, a significant turning point occurred. Acting on intelligence shared among multiple countries, authorities in Hong Kong detained Su under local jurisdiction. He later faced charges related to conspiracy to import narcotics into North America. Confronted with extensive evidence gathered through the Joint Task Force, he agreed to plead guilty and received a 9-year sentence. Prison became an unexpected turning point. Between 1998 and 2006, Su encountered other individuals involved in cross-border crime, including Li Wangchak, a figure known to law enforcement for smuggling activity in the region. Their shared time allowed them to exchange stories and perspectives about the evolving criminal landscape in Asia and beyond. When Su was released in 2006, he returned to Toronto, but the world he left behind had changed dramatically. Many of his former associates were no longer active, and global dynamics had shifted. Hong Kong was now fully under Chinese administration, and China's entry into the World Trade Organization had reshaped regional and international commerce. Meanwhile, worldwide drug trends were shifting as well, with heroin no longer dominating the market in the same way. These changes marked the end of one chapter in Su's life and set the stage for an entirely new era in the global narcotics trade, one shaped by shifting markets, emerging substances, and increasingly sophisticated international law enforcement cooperation.